one of the most important things we need to move forward and break free is that we need support and we need accountability. Accountability is a word you may not say much, you may not hear much. We don't always favor well with accountability because we don't want to be obligated to anybody. Our brain can get lazy. It doesn't want us to say we're going to do something and then have that obligation. We don't want somebody to tell us what to do or what we need to do that we said maybe that we were going to do. I just sent my my admin assistant a message earlier this morning and said, hey, I want you to know I'm going to start doing this. And the reason that I'm telling you this is because I'm holding myself accountable to doing it because I know it's something that is not my favorite thing to do. So we're human. And we can easily decide we don't feel like doing something. But that doesn't mean we have to choose to not do it just because we don't feel like it. But that takes obedience. It takes being responsible. It takes support. It takes accountability because our brain doesn't always want to do it, right? And so, think back into Genesis, the beginning of the book of the Bible. Adam and Eve, they ate the forbidden fruit that God said, hey, you get to eat all of these things, but you can't eat this one thing. The Bible says they were naked and afraid because they did. They ate that fruit and so they hid. God asked them a really, really important question in Genesis chapter 3. He said, where are you? Where are you? Now, God is omnipresent. He's all around. And so he knew where they were. He's all knowing. And so he knew where they were physically. He knew they were naked and afraid. He wanted to know, like, where are you? Where are you in your mind? Where are you in your heart? Because you aren't with me right now. He wanted them to think about, where am I? Am I with God? Am I hiding from God? God was asking them, why are you hiding from me? Why are you afraid? They needed some accountability to live the right way, to think the right way. So accountability of ourselves and where we are in life is the first step to our healing and restoration. We lose our identity in this world, just like Adam and Eve did. They tried camouflaging themselves in trees. They tried conforming to the world. And I want you to ask yourself a really important question today. What are you conforming to that you're not? Who are you maybe connecting yourself with that you're not? What are you doing that is not a good representation of who you are? I want you to write that question down and really think about it. What am I doing that's not a good representation of who I am? What am I conforming to? Who are you following maybe that God did not intend for you to follow? What are you doing that God did not intend for you to do? Who are you saying you are that's not true of who you are? Who are you claiming? Are you claiming that you're anxiety? Are you claiming that you're depression? Are you claiming that you're a worrywart and it's not something that you can change? What are you not doing that He purposed you to do? Are you making that a priority today? So I want you to reflect on those questions. And if you can't remember what they are, go back and hit the rewind and write them down. Where are you? Where are you in your life? Where are you in your mind? What are you telling yourself that's not true for who God says you are? Where are you in your workplace? Where are you in your marriage? Where are you in your relationships? Have you lost yourself in your circumstance? If you have, I want you to know you're not alone and you can be found. But we need accountability. We need support. We need accountability to God. We need accountability to others, and we need accountability to ourselves. Our brain wants to quit. Our brain gets lazy. We have thoughts in our mind that are not true for who we are, that affect not just our emotional health, but they affect our physical health. Not only do these thoughts affect our mental health, our mind, and give us anxiety and fear and doubt and depression, but these thoughts are what directly affects us physically as well, relationally. our marriage, our friendships, our relationships with our kids, and most importantly, our spiritual health. It affects our relationship and connection with God so that we can feel him and know him and trust him. Our thoughts are so much more powerful than we've been giving them credit for because we weren't taught how powerful they are. But we need accountability. We need accountability to change them. We need encouragement. We need support. And I hope you're getting that right now. We need help to get control of the way we feel so that we can live our best life, the life God created you to live, the life that God created that you can live. Remember when you were a kid and you didn't want to do what your parents told you to do? For instance, you maybe didn't want to clean up your room or you didn't want to brush your teeth, right? It's like, I want to brush my teeth. That's hard. Like your brain will just be like, you don't want to do that? That's hard. It's not hard, but our brain will tell us we don't want to do it. But because you've shown, or somebody showed you how to brush your teeth, somebody taught you how, and then they told you, go brush your teeth, go brush your teeth, go brush your teeth. Someone was holding you accountable. You now brush your teeth. Even if your brain says you don't want to, you still do it because you learned the skill and you learned the habit of brushing your teeth. So you hold yourself accountable to doing something you need to do to be healthy. That's what we need when we're learning any new skill, to change our thoughts, to get control of our anxiety, to get control of the worry and the fear and the doubt that keeps us stuck, so that we can really have true actionable results. So not only do we need to learn the process, the skills needed to finally feel peace and purpose, we have to have accountability and support to keep going and to keep doing what we need to be doing to be successful. And you can. Proverbs 1:5. I read this morning. It was a good one. I wanted to throw it out there. Proverbs 1:5 says, let the wise hear and increase in learning, and let the discerning get guidance. Did you hear that? I'm going to say it again. Let the wise hear and increase their learning, and let the discerning get guidance. This is one main reason my anxiety and shame program is so powerful and so successful, because you're learning to become wise and you're discerning to get guidance. So you're learning and growing and changing and building skills, because accountability and support is implemented in my program. My clients not only have accountability to themselves with, step-by-step processes they're learning, but they have peer accountability, daily support from me and other women inside of the group who are going through the exact same processes. And those who have already been successful in the program are there to encourage those that are just learning. That's why they are so successful in learning to change and finally feel peace and freedom like never before. Finally see the purpose and path God created them for, because he created them and they're here. And so you have a purpose. If you're here right now, you're here listening to this, and your brain is telling you, I do not have a purpose. I can't change. There is no reason to be here. That is not your truth today. And you being here is the very proof of that. God has you here on purpose for a purpose. But we need support. We need accountability so that we can keep learning and keep going and keep growing. And so I want you to ask yourself, where am I getting support? Where am I getting encouragement from? I hope you are. God breathed the life you have in your body. He knows you. He knows what you're capable of. He knows what you need. He knows the purposes that he has for you and why you're here. And to be accountable to that, the Bible tells us in Romans 12:2 that we have to be transformed by renewing our mind, to stop conforming to the patterns of the world. And when we're transformed with his word, that's how we see his good and pleasing will. That's how we see the path and the purpose that God has for us. That is the answer. It's the answer. So we have to learn to recondition the thought patterns to get control, so we're able to see God's will. But we need accountability because we're human. We need support to learn, to grow, and to stick with what we need to do. We need our people, right? We need our people. We need the people God puts in our path to help us. We need help and support from somebody who's been there and done that, right? The enemy wants to steal your joy. He wants us to think no one is there. Nobody understands. Nobody gets that you think you can't change and that you're miserable and this is who you are. He wants you to not be accountable to who you are and what you are capable of. But you're not junk. You're not worthless. You're not helpless. You have to be accountable to who God created you to be, and you can be. You have to be accountable for how you feel, for what you're thinking. What have you been telling yourself that's not your truth? And we all need help with that. We all need help with that. Another question I believe God wants you to ask yourself today is just like he asked Adam and Eve when they were in the garden, where are you? Where are you? Where do you need help? Where do you feel stuck? Where are you not holding yourself accountable to your thoughts? Where are you not following God and his purpose for your life? If you don't know where you are, if you're feeling lost, you need support. You need accountability to help you. I'm your girl. I'm here to help you learn and make progress forward. It's kind of what I do. So I want you to think about those questions today. All right? Think about the questions that I ask. What support do you have in your life? Where are you getting your support? Where do you need to go to get support if you're not getting it? And like God asked Adam and Eve, I believe he also wants you to answer the question, where are you? Where do you need help? Pray, ask God. He will help you. He will guide you. But most importantly, you have to take action so that you can move forward. Take action in finding that accountability and support that you need so that you can make progress. Keep going and you will keep growing.